I made it. I'm here. Okay, it is FriYay! Yay, yay, yay! It's FriYay. Come on in, everybody. Let's get some busyness on because I've got questions for you. I got a bunch of questions. At least I think I do. Let's see here. Is anyone there? Okay. And we're waiting. I'll just be here drinking my hot melt mix. Waiting for my girls to appear. Hello, everyone. I see people coming in. Yay. I'm glad. There's Jenny. Hello, Jenny. And Marianne's in the house. Yay. And so is my girl Vanessa. And the girls. Hi, girls. Okay, who else is here? Slowly but surely, they're getting in. Okay. We got a lot of wind today. I hope it doesn't mess up my reception. We are what you would call in a rural area in Brevard. We're on the very tippy top of a mountain. We're on an actual ridge. And because of that, we don't get your normal, internet. We have to go through a cell phone service, and we have like this whole setup. And sometimes wind affects it. So my apologies out front if that's a problem. And if we have an interruption, well, we'll just do the very best that we can, right? That's all we can do. So I will tell you, though, that I get a lot of people say, I can't hear you. It's this, that, and the other thing. And everybody else is hearing me. And just for technical stuff, what I've found is if you go off and come back in, it oftentimes works. So that's my helpful hint of the day. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Yolanda. Hi, Kimberly. I see you guys. I saw somebody else there too, and it just snuck by. Anyway, good to see everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I've just come from the gym. I put mascara on for your behalf. But I am telling you, I just left it all on the dance floor again, girls. This is the thing. We leave it out. We do everything. We work excellently. And I feel like today I really did a job. I pushed myself just to the very brink of not being able to do anymore. That's what it's all about, and I feel really good about that. So there. Today's Q&A. Q&As are always super fun. If you have a question for next week, next Friday, as a matter of fact, then all you have to do is send in your questions to support@savingdinner.com, and guess what? We will send you the answer here on the Facebook Live on Fridays. You have to share to public so I can see it. And when you share it, well, first of all, I know you care. And second of all, you're helping other people. You're bringing them in and helping them to get off the carousel of crazy themselves, right? This is how we make things happen. I've got about 8 questions today or more, so we're going to dive right in there in just half a second. Today is the last day for our quote of the week. We have a new one tomorrow starting on Soulful Saturday. And our quote of the week is, you are one decision away from a totally different life. I love that. Have you noticed that? Have you tried that yourself and you've made a decision, like you made a decision to do the sprint? You make a decision to do the sprint, and suddenly you have a life-changing experience, and you've changed yourself, and not just your waistline, but a lot of things. And when things change, that's absolutely the key to getting off of the carousel of crazy. We start with the one thing. And it is a lifetime. It's not just, get it over and get it done. It's a lifetime. We have to look at this from the perspective of we always want to go a level up. And that's not because we're perfectionists. It's because we're seeking excellence. When we seek excellence, that means we're going to try to do it a little bit better. We're going to try and put everything out. We're going to try and give it the best effort that we have. And we're not going to give up. And that's my big plea to you is don't quit on yourself. This is a long haul, but so's life, right? Wouldn't you rather be in this place of applying yourself to the things that really matter to you? Getting the life back that you want, what you put in, you're going to get back out. That's kind of the law of the universe, I guess, or however you want to look at it. This is what happens. When we put our efforts toward things that we really want, slowly but surely, incrementally, we're going to get them back. And I just don't, that's why I say don't quit on yourself. It's not going to go fast. There will be certain things that will go fast. There'll be certain, things that you see and you'll have like aha moments about, but at times it's just going to seem slow and it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. But then you have to ask yourself, what's the alternative? The alternative is to go back what you did to what you were doing. And what did that give you? That's the definition of insanity. It gave you nothing. It harmed you. It hurt you. And here, at least here in this little tiny bubble that we live in, this little place of trying to bridge the gap of where we are here and where we're trying to get, at least we're building that bridge, Slowly but surely, we're building that bridge and we're getting across. We're not stranded. It might go slower at sometimes, but there's a lot of times where it goes fast. There's a lot of ways of getting back, the reward, if you will, of the effort spent. I just, like today, here I am. I'm looking at I'm at the gym and I'm working out and, I'm watching my arms and I started to criticize myself. Oh, you have, your arm's not as thin as I would like it to be. You're this, that, and the other thing, and look at your thighs and this. We start that conversation and I just cut it off at the knees. I cut it off at the knees because what I'm trying to do and what I'm working on in the gym, it has nothing to do with, what I feel like. It does or what I look like rather. It does, but it also for how I want to feel. I want to feel strong. I want to feel in control. I want to feel like I can lift a car off a child if I had to. I want to feel like, I don't want to feel old and just weak. So many women, hey, I've fallen and I can't get up. We make fun of that. But there are a lot of women who have such terrible upper body strength, they can't lift themselves up. And so today we're working on shoulders. And I'm telling you what, my shoulders, man, we're getting stronger. I got biceps, I'm working it. It's not perfect. And I am I am in progress. I haven't reached my goals or whatever, but so what? So what? If we can just take a look at what it is that we're doing and respect the process, we can find ourselves in such a better place. We are in a better place. And the reason we're in a better place is because we're doing something about the goals and the things and the visions that we want in our lives. To just give up because it's not going fast enough, that's a wussy thing to do. Don't you do that. I'm not doing it. I'm trying to get my wires to stop moving. It's just, I don't know. Okay, has it stopped? I don't know. All right, so today we're giving away a mindful mug. Yay, yay, yay. And you know why we're giving mindful mugs away? Because there are a bazillion people who have shared so much. I love when you share. When you share, you care. And I'm going to tell you right now, it was, where's my thing? Joanne shared her pants off. She shared practically every day if she didn't share every day. And Joanne is in our Take Back Your Life group. She's been doing so many good things, and I'm so proud of her. Super proud of Jan. So Jan, thank you very much. Okay, is it still clicking, you guys? I can't, it's clicking. Is it clicking right now? My mic isn't hitting against my jacket, though. Is it still hitting against my jacket? Well, you guys are going to see some cleavage here in about 5 seconds. Lucky you. You hear clicking now? I think it's just moving. Well, skip it. All right. How's that? I'm just going to yell. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of it. Go away. Leave me alone. Stop it. All right. It's not clicking now. Can you hear me? I sure hope so. And you know what? I move around. I'm going to be moving around. So we're just going to get rid of all the technology, and I'm just going to yell it from the mountaintops. You know, there's nothing I can do. Did you see my cleavage? There we go. We're going to put that back up. Okay, we're better. Sorry, you guys. I just can't. I just can't. I'm going to try and get another microphone or something. I don't know. All right, let's get busy. Mindful mug. So Joanne's run the mindful mug. Yay, Joanne. I'm really pleased. The mic is up. The volume is up. Okay. Okay, are we technically good? There's Joanne. Altos. You won, Joanne. You can hear me now? Are we good? You want to get busy? You want to do the rest of the show? You guys, honestly, technology and me, we're like oil and water. Oil and water. So the other way you can win the mindful mug, let's get back to this. You can win a mindful mug if you order $250 worth of supplements, which you can do and get yourself completely stocked up. And if you're really smart, you will add glycozyme because it's a fabulous digestive enzyme with blood sugar control, right? And it has the blood sugar control in it, and it is really, and once this is gone, when glycozyme is gone, it's gone. I don't think we're getting another one in here. So I just wanted to let you know, get it now. Order 2, order 3, whatever, but get it. It's a great, great price, and it is a fantastic supplement. I love this supplement. If you do this and get $250, look at this. I've got the little glycozyme going in and out of here, just like a little groundhog. The mindful mug will be yours. I will put it in a box and send you a note to say thank you, because you guys support Saving Dinner, and I really appreciate it. What am I drinking? I'm drinking hot milk mix. Hot milk mix is electrolytes and MCT oil and exogenous ketones. It keeps me hydrated. It makes me feel like a human after a big workout too, by the way. And if you're smart, you're going to put body clutter tea, Wise Women's tea, in your cart, because we have a bunch of that too. And that's running out. All right. Who wants questions? Yay! If you want questions, let's do a little dance. All right. Let's start with Mary. You mentioned a macro calculator. What is that? Perhaps you can explain that, as I expect to watch live. Well, Mary, I know you're here. I'm going to tell you exactly what a macro calculator is. A macro is first of all, there's macro and micronutrients, okay? Macronutrients are the big ones. You've got carbohydrates, fat, and protein. Those are the 3 big macronutrients. Micronutrients are minerals and etc. You know, like magnesium, all of that. Those are all micronutrients. So a macro calculator is something that you can, if you go to Google or whomever you use, you know, whatever search engine you want to use. I know Google can be a bit of a PETA, but if you use a Google, if you search macro calculator, you know, in quotations, you'll find one. And in it, you have to put your weight, your exercise, you know, what kind of, how active you are, and it will figure out your macros for you. Now, here's my thought on macro calculators. I think it's an interesting perspective. You can do that. You can give it a try. You can see how it works for you. But at the end of the day, you know, what we're looking at is what works personally for you. I believe that if we are weighing and measuring, counting, and using calculators, apps, and what have you on our phones, that we are going to use that for a short period of time. We're going to be dependent on that, and then it's going to be kind of pain, and then we're not going to do it anymore, and we're going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, and that's the end of the day. This is why I don't like counting anything. This is why I am always saying I'm trying to help you to become an intuitive eater. I'm trying to connect you with that part of your beautiful self that is your own inner nutritional guru. You will know. Hand to God, you will know. You will know this is enough protein, this is not enough protein, this is enough fat, this is not enough fat, this makes me feel good, this doesn't. Fine tune, fine tune, fine tune. That's my expectation from you. And if you use the sprint, which I swear everybody should use the sprint as a framework for how you live your life, you know, and I gave you that free. I gave you that thing free, and you can find it at savingdinner.com right there. There's the whole thing is right there. And I appreciate people, by the way, sharing it with your friends, but tell your friends to go get their own. Don't just hand them a printout, because we have videos and emails that go with it, and share exactly, give you the educational backbone of the way this whole thing works. You know, that's the whole thing. And when we're using the sprint basically as our framework for how we eat, we understand anti-inflammatory, we understand adequate protein but not too much, we understand the importance of greens, we understand about staying away from certain foods that are inflammatory, we understand about hydrating, we understand about moving. All of these things fit in, because a macro calculator is just going to count how much you eat. It's going to take into account, you know, a few things, but not enough. And I will promise you that when you stop arguing with yourself and start understanding, and, you know, unless you're saying, well, my inner nutritional guru is telling me that what I need to do is I need to be eating cookies. I need to eat huge packages of cookies and ice cream and cakes and what have you. Then we all know what that inner nutritional guru is. That inner nutritional guru needs a little shakedown because she's totally wrong. We all have an inner nutritional guru, and we all intuitively know what works and what doesn't. It's a fine-tuning process, and it takes a while. So again, I say to you this all the time, and I promise you when it clicks in and your brain goes, yes, you're going to be one happy camper, because you're going to understand right away that being an intuitive eater and clicking in and dialing in your own personal thing is the way to go for the rest of your life. You will never be on a diet again. You will get off the carousel of crazy. You will get to the place where your weight finally stabilizes and you're in the right place for you. God doesn't make junk, you guys. He knows what he's doing, and there's a lot of stuff we have to correct. We've wrecked a lot of stuff. You know, we're off the chain with things. Our appetites are off because we've been eating all day. So we understand that, and we dial in our intermittent fasting. We have sweet teeth, unfortunately, not just a sweet tooth, a sweet teeth, and it's crazy town. And when we can understand that we can put all of these things in control again, that we can correct our hunger hormones just by the way we eat and the way that we approach food, then everything starts to fall into place. So do you need a macro calculator? If that turns your key, go ahead, go grab one. But if you're following what we're doing here, there's no need for a macro calculator. If you feel like you don't have enough of something, try a little bit more fat. Try just dialing in a little bit more protein, whatever. But stay in tune. Keep a food journal. Do all the things that I tell you to do. If your hydration isn't there, it's not the food, it's your hydration. By the way, huge piece of the puzzle, and yet so overlooked. So that's what I have to say about macro calculators. How was that for a long, convoluted thing? Let's see. Amy is asking, what are your thoughts on Costco Meat? So Costco doesn't have grass-fed meat. They have they have some kind of a beef, but it's not grass-fed. So, you know, if this is what I have to say though. If you are doing something that's not grass-fed, there's a big difference between grass-fed meat and not grass-fed meat. But if you're doing a difference, you know, if you're trying to you know, figure out how to eat meat in a way that isn't going to cost you as expensive as grass-fed can be, then what you need to do is you need to be looking at only eating very lean meat. That's if it's just regular meat from the grocery store or Costco. Even though it's a little bit better grade, I think they have a better grade than what's in the grocery store, still, it's not grass-fed meat. So you want grass-fed and grass-finished meat. That can get horrifically expensive. what we've done, because we're not around a lot of grocery stores with grass-fed meat and what have you, is one of the things that we're going to do this spring is we're going to buy from a farmer some beef. So that's one way to do it. That's a big way to do it. You need a big freezer, obviously, for that. Another thing to do is look for it on sale and then stock up as it comes in. Or if you're going to go with grocery store beef, then make sure that it's extra lean, because the toxins are inside of your are inside of the fat. That's where most of them are. They don't make it to the lean muscle. So a filet is really good. A filet would be my best choice for a steak. More expensive, yes, but you're not going to get the inflammation. And the thing is, the difference between grass-fed meat and conventional beef is huge. It has conventional beef doesn't have any CLA in it, and grass-fed beef does, which helps you. It's conjugated linoleic acid, which helps with your body's processes, which helps you with fat metabolism, and it's anti-inflammatory. So there's a lot of differences. So when you see studies telling you just how horrible beef is, they're doing this with conventionally raised beef. I haven't seen a study that's studying grass-fed beef nor the environmental impact. So keep all of these things in mind. And remember, when you're seeing these studies that are just really down on beef, it's because it's conventional beef, it's CAFO tactics, which is really awful, confined animal factory, whatever it stands for. I can't even remember anymore right now. I'm so tired from the gym. But you understand what I'm saying. There's a humongous difference. So that's what you have to look at. Okay, we had that one. Where do you get broccoli seeds? This is from Denise. You get broccoli seeds to sprout. I get mine on Amazon. I paid about $28 for a big bag. I've had this bag. This is my second year on this bag. And I keep sprouts going almost constantly unless I'm, traveling. But I've got a big thing of sprouts all ready to go, sitting on my countertop already for the sprint next week, which starts next Monday. Get ready. Today would be a good day to start doing, get your sprouts started. Soak them overnight and then just follow the directions. Then get your food in line and get everything ready to go. Get your broth made if you're going to make it. Buy it if you're going to buy it. But get going, because when we start Monday, you want to be an expert on what this thing is so that you can knock it out of the park. It's amazing. Let's see. This is also from Denise, and she says, do you get similar electrolyte effects from Himalayan or Redmond salt versus electrolyte replacements? You get one. So electrolytes means sodium, magnesium, potassium, right? Sodium, magnesium, potassium. And you get a little bit of minerals with Redmond salt or Himalayan. I like both of them. I think they're both excellent salts. They're both pink salts, essentially. But it's like you don't get quite what you would get, say, from a glass of hot milk. Hot milk is very careful. They've got in it, there's calcium, sodium, where else is it? Magnesium. Everything is in there, and it's incredible, and it makes you feel good. You need all the electrolytes. So that's an important thing to take a look at. If you are fasting, though, you can sometimes just take a little pinch of pink salt, put it under your tongue, and it'll help you to feel better. Electrolytes are important, but the most important electrolyte really is sodium. Okay. This is from Trisha. Recently, you have been discussing B-complex supplements good for depression. I need a good for menopause hot flash. Need. I don't see when you currently sell. Will you in the near future? I will in the near future. I am looking at different formulations right now. That is something that I would like to see probably for late 2020, early 2021. Again, I would have to be working with a formulator, and I want to be really up on the science, and my formulator is fabulous. He's doing a really good job for us, but in order to get the exact thing that we want, this is going to be important. Right now, my strong suggestion, one of the things that women don't do enough of is take fish oil. And fish oil is good for all the things. Every single brain function that you have, it's good for your hormones, it's good for heart health, it's good for circulation, it's good for weight loss. And we are all, a lot of us are anyway, most of us are fish oil deficient, omega-3 fatty acid deficient. So I would strongly suggest our bio omega-3 3X is ridiculously good omega-3 fatty acid. I strongly recommend it. I can't believe people don't take it. And once you take it, and I like ours because it's a small capsule, and the other thing that I like about it is that you get 3 times the bioavailability of what's even on the label, simply because of the way it's digested. And that's huge because we don't absorb it in our stomachs, we absorb it in our intestinal tract. So if it's broken down too much in the stomach, which happens with a lot of these supplements, then you're not going to get the bioavailability, and you're just taking really, I don't care how cheap you're getting your supplements or whatever, and that's kind of that's another topic entirely, but you're not getting anything out of them. You want them to be broken down in your intestinal tract where your body is going to extrapolate all those nutrients. So I would do that. Fish oil, SAMe. I would also, it does not taste fishy, and Donna, there is no fish burp after thing. And that was, I love that you're asking that, because that was the big thing for me. And you know this, I've said this before, everything that's on our shop is something that I take myself. And there was a lot of stuff that I rejected because it made me sick to my stomach. I have a really tender little tummy, and if it makes me sick to my stomach, I'm not putting it out there for you. I'm not. You don't need that. That's number one. Number two is that if you get a fish oil burp or something, who's gonna take that if that happens? Not me. The fish burps are disgusting, and I don't want to taste something that I've just taken. And the other thing is the bioavailability, crucial. There's a bazillion turmeric supplements on the market, and they say, well, it makes it more bioavailable by putting a little black pepper in it. Come on, a little bit. But the problem is most turmeric supplements don't have the capacity to go into your intestinal tract whole and then be taken down. And that is so huge, so huge. So if you want bioavailability, everything that we have is bioavailable. I take the SAMe, I take 2 capsules, the thing says 1, but I take 2 because that's what I need. That's my personal dose. And it makes all the difference in the world as far as depression, as far as joint pain is considered, and it helps to feel good. And it was part of my whole menopausal thing, and it is now. Every morning I do not fail to take this. It has made that much of a difference in my life. Also, in the Take Back Your Life journal, there's a place for a calendar month. What do you do for this part? She said, just started mine this month. Love the encouragement on your daily videos, much needed. I think this was also was this from Denise? No, this is from Trisha. Okay, so let me explain. The calendar part isn't to be used I don't use it for my business calendar stuff. It's too small. What I do use it though is for my appointments for myself. And there's a real easy reason why. When you are making appointments for yourself, you're triggering your brain to handle it the same way you would a dental appointment or the way you would a doctor's appointment. You're going to show up. And that's what I do for my self-care. That's what I do for my gym appointments and anything that's, self-care oriented, so that I can see on there what it is that I need to do in order to continue on this self-care track. The more that I do every single day, and have something in line for, taking care of myself, the better I'm going to feel. So I'm very fortunate. I have a lot of self-care things right here at home. I have a sauna. I bought a sauna years and years ago off of Amazon, and that sauna is fantastic. So I go into the sauna and I sit there for 20 minutes at 120 degrees or whatever it is and just sweat like a crazy lady. I take it as long as I can. Some people can go longer in there, but I love it. And then the second thing that I do as well is I take baths. Baths are amazing. Baths are something that I put in there. And sometimes I'll just, as a reminder on that calendar, I'll put an Epsom salt bath on there because, you know, it's easy to forget stuff, right? And even though we can connect and piggyback and do things on there, I believe that habit building and making appointments with yourself is one of the most important things that you can do, especially when it comes to taking good care of yourself in the self-care department, in your fitness department, whatever. The other thing that I do is when I'm writing out my, I piggyback the water stuff I use that on my phone. I don't put it in there. I just have an alarm that goes off every hour reminding me to drink water. So that keeps the water flowing because otherwise I'll forget. It's easy to forget because I'll get caught up in what I'm doing. So I hope that helped. Let's see. So here's another one this is from Mary. She says, I don't want to eat meat. I'm doing my best to follow the program and have done well in the sprint. So I'm looking forward to do it again. I'm willing to cook, so we'll use the plan. It is important that I shed the weight. Knowing myself, at some point I need to find a nutritional way to maintain a healthy weight and not eat meat. What do you recommend? All right. You asked, I'm going to give it to you. Don't eat meat then. Can you eat poultry? Can you eat fish? This is something that you need to be looking at because here's the thing. What I know is this. Vegetarianism and eggs and cheese and all of that can be inflammatory. So that's a big part of being a vegetarian. That's number one. Number two is I'd rather not see people on soy. Soy is estrogenic, and it's a goiterogenic as well for your thyroid, for estrogen, and for a bunch of things. And for a lot of people, it's just not an option, even the organic. Eating beans and rice is a ton of carbs, and most women, if you have a waistline that you're looking at a menopausal belly and you're looking down at a bunch of belly fat, that's going to do you in, and it's also going to keep you in B12 deficiency. So I would say, get familiar and get happy with using chicken and using wild fish as much as possible. And just, we're looking at 3 to 4 ounces a day if you're following the sprint. Lots of broths, lots of different things. And if you're a vegetarian and you're not doing bone broth, you're missing out on all those minerals because minerals are stored in the bones. You're not going to get that from a vegetable stock or a vegetable. There's no such thing as a vegetable bone broth. That just doesn't make any sense. So that's that's the whole thing of how I look at that. You have to look at the end of the day, what are we trying to do here? Well, we're trying to get the carbohydrates down so that we can get the fuel source changed. We can't do that if we're doing tons of carbohydrates because carbohydrates metabolize and become glycogen and get stored in your liver. And once that's gone, then you'll finally turn on the switch and start going into fat burning mode. And that's not to say you can't do it. I'm just saying it'll take you the rest of your life to do it. It's not going to go as fast as you want. It's going to go slow. You're going to have to eat less. You're going to have to exercise a little bit more. The carbohydrates they're just a thing. And while it's not carbohydrates from eating Krispy Kreme, it's still carbohydrates and your body is still dealing with it. Not the inflammatory way, but in that way. So that's one of the problems that you have. Yes, it does. It does add minerals to vegetable broth. But again, I'm back to this whole thing of I had an experiment with vegetarianism myself, ended up gaining weight, and it just didn't work out for me. I didn't feel good. And the vegetarians and vegans that I have known who have been a part of my world for years and years have given me an earful and an eyeful of what I've seen. Plus, if you read Chris Kresser and you watch Chris Kresser's, he's a researcher and super smart guy, nutrition. He did a debate with he and a vegan, and basically put him away. Nutritionally, you just can't get away from who we are, and you have to look at our physiology. We are omnivores. That means we eat all the things. We have canine teeth for ripping meat.
That's how we're built. So find your place of where it is that you want to go. And I suggest that you look at fish. Wild fish, we don't eat enough of. Keeping it small and just having a few ounces. Maybe throwing in a vegetarian thing, but I don't like seitan. I don't like any of these wheat products that are out there and all those processed weird fake meats. I mean, they're all inflammatory. This new plant burger business that's out at Burger King or whatever, inflammatory and disgusting. I read the ingredients. So just, it's like, well, what are we trying to do here? And I keep saying, keep steering the ship right back to the whole thing of, I want you to be eating foods that don't have labels. I want you to eat foods that's easily identifiable, organic, and as clean as possible. And eating food that's going to feed your body, that's going to give your cells the nutrition that it needs, that's going to fire up your very tired mitochondria. This is how we do it. Terry Walls, also very famous, she was a vegetarian, got sick as a vegetarian, kept it up, and then when she did the science and figured it out, she realized that being a vegetarian, kept her in the B12 deficiency lane, and she got a disease, became paleo, started eating things like liver and all kinds of stuff that I wouldn't touch, and she got her health back. Within a year, she went from a tilt recline wheelchair and almost bedridden to doing a race on a bike for 17 miles. So I connect all of those dots, and I'm sorry, but I'm pro meat. I'm also pro sustainable agriculture and doing things properly and grass fed and treating animals humanely and all of that. This is how we need to start operating as human beings and start getting rid of these horrible ways of animal husbandry that's out there. That's big ag. Don't like it. All right. Also from Mary, my doctor has concerns about coconut oil and coconut milk and says it's dangerous to my health. How can I respond? Get a new doctor. There's caprylic acid in there that's anti-inflammatory. It is, he's looking at the old science. Take the science to him. I'm going to tell you something. When we have somebody who confronts us and says you're doing it all wrong, and they're not a nutritionist, and your doctor's not a nutritionist, and I promise you, I'm 99% sure that your doctor has not gone back to school and done any of the nutrition training that I did. Probably did not. Probably doesn't understand about this whole thing, and it probably thinks that saturated fats are the reasons that people have heart problems. And it's just not true. It's inflammation. And if you don't believe me, read the cholesterol myth. The way you fight stuff like this is that you become a consumed consumer. In other words, you, Mary, do the research. Copy off the research study, highlight it in yellow, and take it to your doctor and say, no, here's what the new research says. This is why coconut oil is so good. This is why, and what you're knowing about, what you're thinking about is old science. The science does not support what you're saying. And show him. You have to show people. He went to medical school, He went to medical school. So if you do your part, take the research in. I don't believe in having big time discussions with somebody who's not on your team either. You need somebody who's on your team that's up on the latest research. And if your doctor's going to argue with you and tell you that you're not doing it right, even if you bring in the research, then go find a new doctor. You can do that. We're not trees. We're not planted. We don't have to stay where we are. We can have a different doctor. That's how we do it. How did you know it's him? You are correct. Because I've been there. I have had doctors who have just given me all kinds of crap before, and I just said to them, you know what? MD does not stand for medical deity. My father-in-law was a doctor, and he flipped his lid when he saw that I was supplementing my son with raw goat's milk. Absolutely flipped. He was on the council to get rid of Altadena Dairy in Pasadena because he was convinced it was all wrong. Well, I showed him the research that it wasn't, and he still didn't believe me. So you know what? I don't have room for people like that in my life. I do my research. I understand what I'm doing. I am completely cognizant on why, the wherefores, and everything else that I'm do these things. If you don't have that research behind you, you don't have a candle to light. You can't say, well, Leanne said, he doesn't care about me. Yes, Donna says, do you use PubMed? Yes, I do. I use several things, and I never go by an article, because if an article says something, then you better go and take a look at what the research shows. If you see an article that says the research says, and there's nothing there, then they're not, and I'll put stuff out like that too. But if you write me and say, where did you get this research? I'll tell you exactly where. And as a matter of fact, you can Google it yourself and you'll find it. It's super easy to find this stuff. All you have to do is put coconut oil or coconut milk or whatever, plus latest research. And it'll all pop up, and there it is. And then you can print it out, you can highlight it, and you can go in there and be an informed patient. This is also from Mary. All water is not created equal. What is the best? I have a dear friend who's frequently dehydrated, so he drinks Gatorade. Well, Gatorade's crap. We know it has a lot of stuff in it. As a matter of fact, one of the ingredients that's in it, at least used to be, and I would have to double check this, but it is the same ingredient that's in what is that? What's the thing that you put in your radiator? Whatever that stuff is, radiator fluid. Scary, but there's all glycol, fill in the blank. Glycophosphate, something like that. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that you have to look at the ingredients for everything. What is the best water? The best water is filtered water that's taking all the crap out that's, in your city's water, that's in your well water or whatever. Do that. And then if you need to get into electrolytes, hello, hot milk mix to the rescue. This is like the best stuff you can drink. It's fantastic. Our new one is going to be orange, and it's delicious. So that's what I say about that. Electrolytes to the rescue. It works. It works. Antifreeze, that's the word. Yes, thank you. All right, and this is from Joanne. What's the difference between bone broth and chicken broth? I'm glad you asked that. So Joanne, it's a simple thing. They're pretty much made the same way. So there's broth, there's stock, and then there's bone broth, okay? Bone broth is just lightly simmered bones, maybe for an hour with some, usually you have the aromatics in there, like some herbs and onion, garlic. You've got celery and carrot, bay leaf, peppercorns, etc. For broth, stock, and bone broth. With stock, you cook it just a little bit longer, probably, about 12 hours. With bone broth, you do the same thing, add vinegar to the water when you start to cook it so that it extrapolates all of the nutrients out of the bones. The bones are where the nutrients are stored, and the vinegar just simply helps to pull them all out. And we also cook it for a lot longer, about more like 24, 48, even 72 hours in a crock pot or on your stovetop. My preference is to use a pressure cooker. I use an Instant Pot for this, and I do it for 2 hours, and I get the best bone broth every time. I do this on a weekly basis. Since I started doing it, and I mean, how many years now? I don't even know how many years I've been doing it, but I drink it every single day. I also take the Perfect Paleo Protein. I have just a collagen shot or two of that a day. I also take Beauty Support, and my skin has completely 100% changed. Not only that, but I always feel good. I have limber joints. I don't have any of the problems that a lot of women in their 60s have. I don't have any of that. I don't have any arthritis, none of it. Good knees, this, that, and the other thing. And like I said, my skin is 100% changed. My hair has grown back. I was losing eyebrows and all of that, but everything has grown back. Beauty Support supports the collagen. It's like the matrix for the collagen. 97% of us are collagen deficient. So when we're taking in that bone broth, we're taking the the Perfect Paleo Protein and taking the Beauty Support, wow, your skin just changes. The texture of your skin, it gets a little bit thicker, which is good. This is what we want as we get older. We don't want that thin skin. Even my throat and neck, I can see. I used to, just freak out over that, but it's gotten better. Cellulite and stretch marks, along with intermittent fasting. All of these things, they just help, you know? And so if you have a lot of stretch marks, if you have cellulite, even skin tags, I've had women tell me that skin tags and moles have gone away. Intermittent fasting and collagen. And collagen loading is what you do with the bone broth too. So when you're doing that much and you're dosing it every single day over a period of years, everything's going to change. It did for me. So there you have it. And, excuse me, that's it. If you have a question that you want answered next week, at this time, don't forget, you send it into support@savingdinner.com in the subject line, question for Leanne on Friday, and I'll answer it next Friday. And don't forget also that if you want to win a mindful mug, which is the best little thing and will keep you mindful about when you eat, because you have a little bone broth beforehand, and just really think of the gratitude that you have for the food that you're eating and blah, 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 blah. And it just makes all the difference. And then the glycozyme will get it sent to you free. Just all you have to do is stick it in your cart. How about that? All right, ladies, you have been a lot of fun. I'm going to go take a shower now. I thought you'd appreciate hearing about that. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.